Well, an historic win from Tim Tszyu tonight in Sydney, defeating Errol Spence, UD decision. Brendan Bradford, mate, your thoughts on the win from Tim Tszyu and what it means for his career?
A phenomenal performance. Really, like, a lot of it was unexpected. I felt that, like, just the way the fight went. Everyone apart from Paulie Malignaggi was saying, the longer the fight goes, the more it favours Spence. He's going to pull away. He's going to be too crafty. He's going to be too slick.
Yeah.
It was more of a dogfight, more of a battle in the trenches, I felt. And even then, if the fight had gone that way, you asked me this yesterday, I thought, I don't know how much is left in Tim's chin and his body. But he came through. He pulled through. I was really impressed with the way that he fought, with how he basically almost nullified everything Spence was trying to do. Spence went to the body. Spence tried to fight in close. Spence tried to fight at range. No luck anywhere.
Yeah.
Super impressive, career-saving, career-changing win from Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, I thought that was the thing too. When Spence come in and wanted to fight on the inside, I think he was surprised at Tim's defence on the inside. Yeah, he landed some body shots. He probably landed double the body shots Tim Tszyu landed. But when he was in close, I don't think he could be as effective or damage Tim Tszyu in the way he thought. And then, that's when he started moving. Impressive performance from Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, I haven't read any of the comments, but if people are saying that Spence just came out here to cash a check or came out for a holiday, it's not true. He came to fight. He was tough. He went 12 rounds and was fighting until the end. Landed a few on Tim at the end. It's just a very well-drilled, very determined Tim. Okay, Spence is not the fighter he once was.
No.
We know that, and I think he admitted that 12 rounds was long today, and 3 years out wouldn't have helped. But he did take this fight seriously. He was locked in. He didn't come out here just to cash a check or whatever people are saying.
No, and I think that's what I think Spence, I'm not going to say took him lightly, but in those first 3-4 rounds, he was sort of, the look on his face, it was like he was enjoying it in there. But then I think the pace Tim Tszyu and the pressure, that always being in your face, the Tim Tszyu that we used to see, Errol, after those 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds, the pace, it got to him.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. There
There was a moment, you remember Tim had a good moment in the first round?
Yeah.
Cracked Spence, who was on wobbly legs for a second. And set round sort of 2 and 3. Spence didn't go down, kept fighting, and I think he felt probably quite confident after that. And then Tim in the 6th round, I think, went to the body and pulled away from there. I think he probably won all of the last 5 rounds.
The scorecards were very wide. But I'm curious to see, how Tim, watching it back, assesses his performance. He still did get hit a couple of times in there.
Yeah.
I don't think we could say Spence was the fighter he once was, but also, like you said, he came here to fight, and Tim Tszyu looked solid. He looked strong at that weight as well.
Yeah. He looked better today at 160 than he did at 158 against Dennis Nurja.
Yeah.
And look, I will say, and I mentioned it in my stories and in our video analysis with Panda, there was a big size difference. Like, Tim Tszyu was just the bigger man. Like, there was an element of, it was a middleweight against a natural welterweight. I will say that. But still, phenomenal performance against one of this generation's greats.
One thing I noticed as well is I think it was Paulie or Sean, or it might have been Danny Green. He said that this fight's going to come down to who wants it more. And in those moments, you could see Tim Tszyu was like, I'm not losing this fight.
Yeah.
And I think you just got off the phone to the great Jeff Fenech, who's had a bit of back and forth with me over the last couple of weeks, but full respect to Jeff. He said that the belief that in those corners in between rounds, Tim Tszyu, you could see he was not losing this fight today.
Yeah, look, I know you've had, whatever you want to call it, your differences with Jeff, but you can't deny that the link up with Tim and Jeff Fenech has changed his life.
Yeah,
changed his career. The belief is there. And you felt that not just in the fight, but all the way through the lead up. I went out to the gym. I think we've done videos since. I went out to the gym sort of 2 weeks after they first, announced this partnership, and before they went to Thailand. And there was joking around, and it was quite laid back. Once they started training, it was full on, intense. But the mood around it was just so much more laid back than I've ever seen. And you could feel that in Tim. You could feel you could just sense this weight off his shoulders. And I think, to be honest, I think there's probably a lot that people don't know that goes on in his life behind the scenes that even we don't know. Sort of, the pressures of fame and money and your family and businesses and changing teams and being in the spotlight. But just the last 3 months has just felt like he's exhaled. It's a weight off his shoulders. And truly, there were questions going into this fight about whether, is Jeff going to change his style? Is Jeff going to do this? Is it going to work? Are their characters going to mesh? After today, just seeing the depths he was able to go to, hearing him talk about Jeff, it's career changing and it's life changing for what's next.
I think when I asked Tim Tszyu earlier this week about what style he will bring to this fight, he described it as a hybrid style. And I think that's exactly what we saw tonight.
Yeah.
We saw elements of Igor, we saw elements of Pedro Diaz, we saw the Jeff Fenech style in there as well. I think that's a perfect summation. But the test is going to come now is when he goes for those title shots. How does he look, against these guys in their prime? That's when the test is going to come. But the good thing is that this opens up all those doors again. Tim Tszyu is back, and he's a big name. Yeah. He's a big name in this middleweight division now, middleweight Tim Tszyu.
Big name still in Sydney. 12,000 people was sellout at Afterpay Arena here. As I wrote sort of 5 days ago, it's Erislandi Lara is WBA champion. That was the fight that could get made. If he wins this one, Charlo's still on the record, still on a possibility. Keith Thurman is still these big name fights. I'm almost more excited about the big name fights than you have to go a certain way to world titles and fight lesser names and whatever. But the possibility of a Thurman, coming back down here. We saw him fight Brock Jarvis last year, or I don't know whether Charlo gets in the country, but
I'd bring Lara here.
Bring Lara here, do the WBA world title here.
That's what I'd be looking to do.
Or even and then Charlo.
Yeah. But I want to say there will be the critics out there today saying Errol Spence is not what he was, etc., etc., etc. But you have to give Tim Tszyu credit for today.
Yeah, you
and
have
not
to.
Not just from the athletic performance point of view, the pressure that was on that kid today, the pressure that's been on that kid since the Fondora defeats, the criticism, you have to give Tim Tszyu credit.
Yeah. He said...
And the team.
He said just in the press conference just now, he woke up at 4 a.m. this morning.
That was my question.
That was your question. Great question. He woke up at 4 a.m. this morning saying...
So did I, coincidentally. But go on.
What do I do if I lose? Do I even want to do this? The nerves. At the end of the day, you walk out in front of 12,000 people and score the biggest win of your career. It's all worthwhile, but it's the first sort of, not chink in the armour, but the first sort of glimpse I saw that there was pressure, and it did feel it. He kept it all very well concealed during fight week. I felt like he was different. I felt like his mood was different this week at middleweight.
Yeah.
Not having to cut, not having to get all hungry at going down to 154. He felt like he was in a better mood.
Yeah.
Like the press conference, the open workouts, he was good. He was up and about. He was upbeat. Yeah. And I think the weight has a big factor to do with that. On top of just the change in mindset under Jeff Fenech.
Yeah. Well, where do we go from here, mate? Nikita in a few weeks' time, and then when does Tim Tszyu fight again, do you think? Do you think he goes around this year, or does he have some time off?
I'm sure they want him to go around in December. He fought December last year. There's usually a pay-per-view at the end of the year.
Yeah. He's
going to Thailand for a holiday. I know that for sure. And then Nikita on August 26th on the Gold Coast is what we're hearing.
Yes.
But I Look, it's been a busy 12 months.
Yeah.
It's been a busy 16 months. So we had Joey Spencer, Fundora, and he came back, and he was overseas as he was finding his new team, fought Velasquez, went back to Miami, fought Diaz, changed, fought again. It's been pretty busy. I wouldn't mind just to see him take the rest of this year off.
Yeah.
He said he wants a bit of a rest. I come back early next year.
And work into that, get his body
His
into that
body
full
at middleweight.
middleweight weight. You know?
Make it feel, get more accustomed to carrying that little bit extra weight around. I'm sure that, he'll have a holiday in Thailand and he'll come back and want to go again in December. But I wouldn't be rushing him back in. Just take the rest off. Nikita can probably fight in August and then in December.
Yes.
The way he's tracking.
Well, there we have it. A dominant performance from Tim Tszyu tonight in Sydney. Brendan Bradford, always appreciate your time, mate.
Enjoyed it. Great fight week. Good work this week.
Thanks, mate.